How have you guys addressed the run defense? I know that was a problem on Saturday, and as far as wrapping it maybe a little bit better. What else are you guys doing there?
It's pretty easy. I mean, it's one guy in each gap, and so until we get that, we're going to struggle stopping the run.
Is it a case of people trying to cover a teammate's gap and trying to do more than their own job?
I don't know. I didn't ask them. We just worked on them getting in their right gap. So everybody gets in their gap, the run game will be taken care of.
Were you happy with the fact that they were able to kind of produce some turnovers, even giving up those yards? A lot of those drives ended up with a fumble or not.
Yeah, I think that to get the ball away, I thought after sudden changes we played good. The goal line stand was good, but the bottom line is we didn't get in our gap and we didn't tackle very good. And so when you don't do those two things very well, you're going to give up some yards.
Tracy, how's the secondary coming along?
I think they're doing. We didn't tackle very well again, and so we got to get that improved. But I do think there are other things they've done better, and I do think we're getting better back there.
How do you think they've been responding to tackling better, and particularly with facing such a dynamic quarterback this week?
Well, it's no different than any spread offense. Is that you got to be able to tackle well in space. He adds a little bit to the running game without a doubt, and so we're going to have to make sure that we have eyes on him. But again, let's face it, if we don't tackle very well, it's going to be a long day. Just athletes in space. To me, that's why people should run the spread offense. Is you get the ball to people in space and you make people be good tacklers. And so we'll have to tackle well, and we'll have to play better on third down than we did, and hopefully we'll play well in the red zone.
Is there an advantage to your guys having seen an air raid offense all spring, all fall? I know they're different, but
no doubt. To practice, it's a lot better to practice against a spread all the time and then go play somebody else rather than the opposite. You play somebody with two backs and two tight ends, and then you go to a spread. And I'd say theirs is unique because a lot more running game, quarterback design run because of who they have back there. And so, but we spent a lot of time on it, and that'll be a big key to the game.
There's kind of a traditional thought when it comes to dual threat quarterbacks that if you can prevent them from running the ball and make them a passer, that odds are in your favor. Do you think it's as cut and dry with King, or is it pretty much that kind of the dry bones of the game plan?
Yeah, you got to stop him on the run, and at the same time, they got a lot of good athletes in the short passing game, and so you got to make sure you're just not always man to everybody. But any passer, I don't care how good they are, is that you have to affect him. We got to get pressure on him, and between that and the quarterback running game, that's where the tough part comes into.
And through 2 weeks, you guys haven't had any of the defensive, the mimicking the snap count calls. Was that at all an emphasis over the offseason, try and limit those, or was that kind of?
I didn't quite understand the question.
The defensive mimicking the snap count penalties, that was the defensive delay of games. You guys haven't had any of those. Had a few of those last year. Was that an emphasis at all to not be mimicking the snap count at all?
Well, we never have been the snap count. We've always made a move call to move the front, and I don't know what
do they
happened.
do they see that as mimicking the snap count then?
Well, they did last year,
Oh.
but for whatever I think that you'd have to ask Coach Leach about the conference meetings and all that, how that went. But I know it was discussed, and so we haven't had any this year.
You guys put Travion on the depth chart this week. He wasn't there last week, and now he got more time and had 8 tackles in kind of a short amount of time. What continues to impress you about him and the way he flies around and just being a freshman during all that?
Yeah, just you said, he flies around, he plays fast, and he's learned the game, obviously, and he's got a ways to go to learn the game. But he's a good enough athlete right now. He's able to make up for a few of those mistakes just because he plays hard and he's usually in the right spot.
You guys also caused a number of false starts. Do you think that's due to some of the stuff you guys do before the snap, or can you pinpoint that or anything like that?
Maybe the move calls and that, and guys moving around a little bit. Is that it's weird. It seems like you have a bunch or you don't have any of them. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely the movement caused them a little bit of trouble, of them staying in there, and I think part of that is to do with how explosive we've got some guys up front that. those guys got to be getting off the ball at the right time.
How impressive is Coach Leach's kind of arid lineage? It seems like every year you guys play one of his people, someone who kind of grew up learning the offense underneath him, Coach Mummy.
Yeah, is that they were the ones that brought the spread and went about it a different way than other people had. And I also think that people coach that and they like coaching it. But I also think it's brought back an athlete to the game. A lot of times those 6'3", 6'4" kids that thought they were basketball players and didn't want to play football because all they do is run out there and block. And now you've brought those guys back because of all the balls in the air and all the balls being thrown. I think it's brought a better athlete back to football, and obviously him and Coach Mummy and all those guys started having a lot to do with that.
You guys good?
Thank you.
All right, guys.